Welcome everyone to Zone 2 Talk. I'm just playing around with some video settings here just to figure out, is this recording? Can I do some recording using video, or should I just hide my face and stick to audio? Right now, I am planning to hide my face, but if everything goes well in this recording, then you might be able to see something of this on the public platform. Anyways, the topic that I wanted to reflect today was entropy, or is entropy. Um, and this idea came to my mind when I was forced to do cleaning. Just a background story, I hate cleaning, but as an adult, you have certain responsibilities, and cleaning is one of them. And what I've realized is that every time I clean my living room, within 2 weeks, within 2 days, um, it's back to where it was. So it's really frustrating, especially when you have a young one. Cleaning pain just amplifies on an exponential level. It's something that I cannot describe. So while I was reading about a random topic online, there was this definition, a scientific definition of the word entropy. And it reads something like, entropy is the idea that everything in the universe tends towards disorder unless you put energy to maintain the order. So what it basically says is, if you do nothing, things will tend to move towards chaos, because that's what universe is designed to do. And what some of the examples are: universe itself, universe is expanding, and it's moving towards chaos. So even though it is organized now, I don't think it's organized, but let's assume that we have an organized structure. Since it's expanding in a rapid pace, it's moving towards chaos. So that's one of the examples for entropy. The second would be, which is kind of funny, on a funny note side, would be in regards to the gas. So if you fart in one corner of the room, there would be someone on the other corner suspiciously looking in the room as to who was the culprit. And that's nothing but entropy, which expands from one corner of the room and reaches the another corner. It's basically moving towards chaos, no pun intended. Um, and that's also an example of entropy. Don't judge me right now. I have a point to make. Coming back to the cleaning, what I've realized is that it's a constant process in my life, and I have to invest energy for things to not go into chaos. And then I was like, wait a minute, this aspect can be applied to everything in life. For example, if I'm working, if I don't apply the energy to sort my inbox, within a week, the inbox is chaos. So something that relates close to entropy, that if you don't do anything, it will move towards chaos. And then the same concept applies to other aspects. If like currently, I go to the gym on a regular basis, and as I was heading up to the DHL run, I was practicing my runs quite often. I wanted to run 5K in 29 minutes, 28 minutes. So I was planning accordingly to that until we had the summer vacation, which broke me into pieces. And I just started eating pizzas and different types of sweets and stopped working out. because I was on vacation. And what I realized is that when I came back in few weeks, my pace was significantly reduced, and my oxygen consumption was also quite bad. So I was not able to run or achieve my goals of 20 running in 29 minutes, which eventually reflected in the DHL run. And on some level, I was thinking that if I don't practice at all, my body tends to be in this relaxed state or tends to move towards being disorganized, wherein I'm not able to achieve the results that I want to. Similarly, if I do a bench press of 100 kilos today, if I don't do a bench press for few weeks, then I'll not be able to bench press 100 kilos. That's because my body has lost its strength and it's moving towards that state of being weak or being disorganized. Similarly, with thought process, if you don't invest the time to meditate, to think, to reflect on your thoughts, then your brain tends to move towards chaos. Uh, like empty mind is a devil's advocate kind of a quote. I don't know. It just popped in my head. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. But what the intent here is that if you don't invest in yourself or in your thought process, then your thought process tends to be more chaotic until the point that you realize that you're burnt out or you're stressed. Um, so another example of moving towards disorder. Similarly with relationships. So when I moved from India to Denmark 10 years ago, what I've realized is that if you don't invest time or energy in maintaining the relationship with your friends back home, then this disorder also creeps into the friendships. I mean, there are certain friendships wherein you don't invest any energy, but it stays strong. But what I've realized is most of them tends or moves towards disaster, or not disaster, but chaos. And then all of a sudden, when you want to talk to that individual with whom you were quite casual and did not think much, all of a sudden you are in that zone wherein now you have to think twice before you send a text or like, am I that comfortable now to share this, or has something changed? So it's also a form of moving towards chaos if you don't invest um, energy into maintaining the relationship. So the concept of entropy applies to different aspects of life and even on some level to the society that we live in. If we don't have laws, regulations, or governing bodies, let's assume that for one night there is no law or that the government dissolves, you would see chaos, even in a country that is extremely organized, because that is the human tendency, or it's the tendency of the universe to move from being organized to being chaotic, unless there is something that is governing it or energy is being put to streamline. So maybe the concept of entropy is not, I've painted a wrong picture of it being the enemy, but it's not actually, in my opinion, it's not actually the enemy, but maybe it's a reminder that you need to apply continuous efforts in order to maintain your life in an orderly manner. And the moment you start ignoring certain aspects of your life, it will tend to move towards disorder. Um, So entropy gives us a push. It says keep going, keep maintaining, and keep living on some aspects of life. Um, and that's the point of reflection that I wanted to share today. And this is like a new format for me, so I have no idea about the video angle, if this makes sense, but we will improve as we do more of these recordings. For now, if it adds value or if you resonate with this thought process, leave a comment. And as always, thanks for listening in Tak in Danish and Jai Hind. Peace out.